you're going back to school, you have no idea how to stand out, this is what you need. Now look, it's not going to be overly complicated. In fact, you really only need to focus on a few things: clothing, accessories, and hygiene. These are the three categories that we are going to boil it down to make sure that you are looking and feeling your best for you to go back to school. Most of which is going to come from today's video sponsor, Kohls, but we'll talk about them in a little bit. First thing we got to talk about is clothing. Truth be told, this used to be the hardest thing for me whenever I was going back to school. But the more I started taking clothing serious, the more I started to become confident. In fact, I was about a freshman or sophomore in high school where I really wanted to start my self-improvement journey. The first thing I did was look for better clothing. But like I said, I get the struggle. You want to stand out, yet at the same time, you're scared to try anything new because you're afraid of getting judged, of what other people may think, or you're just thinking, I don't have the confidence to pull this off. Or the last concern is, I don't have a huge budget. Look, right now, Kohls has huge savings, so everything you're going to see has a massive discount right now. First thing let's talk about are shoes. When I was in school, I only had one pair of shoes, and although this isn't necessarily a bad thing, if you can get more, then that's just so much better. Especially if you're still growing, I would not recommend $200, $300 shoes, because chances are in a year, even if you take care of them, they're probably not even going to fit you. So go with something affordable, timeless, and looks good with pretty much anything. And my favorite brands are always going to be Vans, Converse, Nike, and sometimes Adidas. Now, you don't really have to stand out with your sneakers, so stick with something that you're going to be comfortable in, but will go with any of your other pickups. Now let's talk about pants. My biggest mistake when I started getting into clothing is thinking of one pair of black pants is going to be enough for my entire wardrobe. Although black pants will go with anything, it gets a little boring. So get black pants, get some dark washed, light washed, whatever you feel most comfortable in. Just explore different things because you will never know if you truly like something or not if you're too scared to try it. A great example are these regular fit jeans that I picked up from Kohls. They're not too skinny, they're not overly baggy, they're timeless, versatile, and extremely affordable. These were only about $30. And this alone is a way better option than most guys who are totally okay with wearing sweatpants every single day when it comes to school. Now let's talk about shorts. Again, what most people go towards are athletic shorts. You don't want to be that guy. As comfortable as these are, you want to stand out. So go with chino shorts or linen shorts. These alone look way better than what most guys are wearing, which again are athletic shorts. They're just gonna make your outfits look better and you're gonna look more put together. And now for my favorite part of my wardrobe are the tops. With pants or shorts, you could really get away with a few of these, but with tops, this is what you're gonna have the most fun with. But before we get into the fun stuff, let's start off with the foundation. Neutral colored slim black t-shirts are the perfect place if you're just getting into fashion and you have no idea where to start. You want this to complement your physique, so honestly, black is probably the best option. And this is comfortable and doesn't make you stand out too much. But for those of you guys who are totally okay with standing out this year, then start going with some better options like polos, button downs, graphic t-shirts, and so much more. Now, since we're still in the warmer season, for right now, just worry about button downs, t-shirts, and polos. Later on, you can focus on the fall clothing, but especially for those of you guys who are just getting into the back to school season, you should really only buy what you need. I get it, when you're younger, your budget isn't really overly out there, so get what you need, and here's exactly that. This button down black t-shirt is a great pickup. It's a perfect slim fit, and honestly, this is something that anybody can look good in. And like I said, Kohls is the perfect place to go back to school shopping because everything I just mentioned, you can get for a steal. These jeans, $30. This black t-shirt, $18. This slim button down t-shirt, $30. Kohls is the perfect one-stop shop for anything you need going into the back to school season, ranging from clothing, accessories, even just basic school supplies. And right now they're having a huge back to school sale that you should take advantage of before it's too late. What I like about retailers like Kohls is they retail all your favorite brands. Every shoe that I mentioned earlier, Converse, Vans, Nike, Adidas, these are all available at Kohls at some of the best prices. And I've already mentioned the clothing, but let's talk about their sales on things outside of clothing that you need for school. The first thing that everybody needs is a back to school backpack. And at Kohls, you could find some from the best brands at the best prices. Think of JanSport, Reebok, Adidas. In fact, I picked up this Adidas backpack just to show you what you could find at Kohls for an insanely affordable price. For one, the color is amazing. It fits anything that you might need, and this is way better than anything that I had going back to school. What most people fail to realize is a backpack is part of your outfit, because this is an accessory. And so you don't have to be boring and get what everybody else is wearing, nor do you have to spend an insane amount of money just for your backpack to get beat up. This Adidas backpack is the perfect option. And arguably my favorite part of any outfit is the way that you smell. And when I was in high school, I did not care about colognes, and I really wish I did. This is the simplest way to become more memorable and to really stand out. And you can get a bunch of different colognes at Kohls. They have a huge variety of options. However, the one that I got, I can confidently say is the perfect back to school fragrance because it's versatile, it's fresh, and it's one that pretty much anybody can agree on that this just smells incredible. And that is this Carolina Herrera Bad Boy Cobalt. This is a newer fragrance, so it's not going to be played out, and this is the perfect accessory to invest money into. For one, a good bottle of cologne is going to last you a long time, assuming that you don't drown yourself every single day. And especially with a high quality cologne like this one, you don't need a bunch of sprays. A little bit goes a long way, and especially when it comes to school time, you don't want to give the person sitting next to you a complete headache, and a fresh and aquatic scent like this one will do exactly that. It's gonna make you smell incredible without being a burden to everybody else around you. So quite literally, whatever you need this season, Kohls has you covered with insane savings, all at the best one-stop shop. The link's gonna be the first one in the description, as well as every piece of clothing, every accessory, including this amazing cologne, so you could pick up for yourself and easily stand out amongst all your friends this season. Now look, we already talked about the most important accessory, which is a backpack, but here are all the accessories that I wish I took a little bit more serious when I was younger. For one, a good wallet. Now this not might seem like much, but the sooner you get out of the habit of using a Velcro wallet, the more mature you're going to look. And it's funny because I know people my age to this day who still refuse to invest into a high quality wallet. They think it's too expensive. Well, for one, it doesn't have to be too expensive. Again, Kohls carries a bunch of different brands for really affordable leather wallets. Ideally something black or brown, so that way it doesn't look a little too out there. And again, it's just a simple way to make you look more mature. The next thing are good belts. All your friends are probably going to be wearing shoelace belts or just cheap canvas belts. This is the perfect way to stand out. You don't have to look too dapper, but getting a black leather belt again just makes you look more put together, and that's something that I wish I realized sooner. Now speaking of things that I wish I realized sooner, going into high school, there are certain things that I was completely scared of. Now that I'm well outside of high school, I realized a lot of these things were just in my own head. They were super minuscule and they did not require any stress at all. So stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to be giving my best tips to anyone entering high school or currently in there. But the number one accessory that I really wish I got into sooner, especially in high school, is a good watch. Now watches can get very expensive, but the best place to start is a Casio. You could literally find Casios anywhere between $15 to $100, depending on your budget, depending on what you want the materials to be, or even just the color. They have black, silver, or even gold Casios. Gold has never been my favorite for watches, but if you're into that, gold Casios can be found pretty much anywhere, especially at Kohls. Now for the third category that you need to start focusing on going back to school is hygiene. Especially when you're entering the back to school season, it is a little bit hot because it's around August. And I don't know if you can tell right now, but I'm starting to sweat a little bit. That's because it's about 96 degrees outside. But point is, I've always been a person who sweats a little bit too much. And sweating in the middle of class is probably the most embarrassing thing that I've always hated. So if you want to avoid sweating or armpit stains, go with something like an antiperspirant. This is going to soak up all the sweat and do a pretty decent job of making sure that you don't have any embarrassing sweat stains. Now, if your back gets sweaty, that's a whole different conversation. I'll try something like a tank top or anything underneath your shirts to make sure it doesn't get past that. In fact, that's exactly why I've always preferred darker colors, because lighter colors, sure, they look good, but especially at a place like school where you could be sweating for no reason, it's hard to mask that. Now, I also consider smelling good a part of hygiene, and we've already talked about colognes, but a simple trick to make your colognes last that much longer is putting lotion on your skin, ideally one with no fragrance on there, and spraying your cologne on top of that to make sure that it sticks on there and is going to last just a little bit longer. And things that you could do outside of school to make yourself look better is, of course, getting regular haircuts, doing your eyebrows, and making sure you shave when needed. I know there's a lot of people out there who think, I don't need to worry about shaving. I don't know who needs to hear this, but your pubescent mustache doesn't look good. So either wait until it grows out and full. It's going to make you look better, and it's going to avoid you looking just a little bit dumb. Now, for anybody who does need to hear this, if you're entering high school and you are terrified, let me give you some advice. Your friends that you grew up with are not always going to be there. So this is a perfect time to learn that just because you used to talk to somebody doesn't mean you have to continuing forward. And I know that sucks to hear, but you are going to make a lot of new friends. And this is going to be for the best. You want to choose your friends wisely. Just because somebody is fun does not mean that that is a good friend. My closest friends came from a shared hobby. For example, entering high school, I was really into basketball. I played for my school basketball team, and therefore I was hanging around with other basketball players. But when I started going into the gym, I was about 15, 16 years old, and I had a few friends that I would go with, and we just became even closer because we had a shared hobby. So whatever after school activity you choose to do, hang out with these people, get to know them a little bit more, especially if it's something that you're really interested in. You can grow together, learn together, and these are going to be a lot better friends rather than just the people who are just fun. Of course, the main advice I can give you is don't fall behind. Do the things you're supposed to. Build discipline today. And all the people that complain to this day how they never have to use square roots or anything outside of school, sure, that is true, but the main thing you should get is learning how to build discipline follow deadlines and guidelines, because that is a skill that is going to carry you out throughout your entire life. Most importantly, talk to your teachers. These people are way older than you. They know a lot about you, especially if you want to get into a good college. Have a good teacher by your side to help you with SATs, studying, preps, whatever you want to do. That is such an underrated tip. Everybody loves to be mean to their teachers. Don't be one of those guys. You're going to be all right whether you're just getting into school, you're going into your junior year, your senior year, whatever. That being said, if you want to truly learn how to glow up to be the most attractive person in your school, here's a video that's going to show you exactly that.